Okay, here I have a gearbox, Oakley gearbox. You might notice that the hand's ticking rapidly and then stopping. That's a low battery indicator that's programmed into the circuit in the movement. With the gearbox, you've got to be very careful with these crowns because they've just got a little thread. So you just got to be gentle with these. This is a collector's, so I'm going to leave the band on with this one because it just sits in a cabinet, doesn't get worn. So yeah, I've just released the pressure off the crown. When it's wound in, it has pressure on the stem, so it can put pressure on the movement. So yeah, just make sure that's spinning freely. So with this one here, you've got to be careful not to scratch the coil. So just got to push a lever across out of the way. It releases the battery. So I'm going to test the battery just to make sure that's the problem. Yep, that's a little bit down in charge. So the gearbox takes a 920 SW. I'll put that in the description below, and also the back gasket size. I date my batteries just so I know how long it's been in there, and also when it comes back I'll make sure that it's my battery that's still in the watch. So again, when putting it back in, just make sure you don't scratch that coil. Just make sure there's no fingerprints on the battery, because you might leave some acid from your fingers, which can just discharge the batteries. Just going to release the crown and put some silicone on that. So with the crown on the gearbox, you've got to make sure you don't get any silicone in the case tube, so inside. Just want it on the outside, because if you put silicone on there, you'll have troubles with the crown slipping and cross-threading the thread that's in the case pipe or in the crown. So I just put a little bit on the outside of the case pipe. Make sure when you push the crown stem in, you give it a twist so it locks in. And just be careful with these, like you don't cross thread them. It may take a while to get this case back to sit properly. Again, don't tighten that too much. And then with the crown, make sure when you push it back in, just slightly make sure it lights back up, and just a little bit. So the movement the gearbox takes is a Ronda 715, and you've got to make sure you get the hand height as well. So the hand height is usually measured from the back of the movement to the top of the second hand. Just going to measure that now. So the overall height is 6.5. So it's a Ronda 715 with a hand height, overall height of 6.5. With this Ronda 715 movement, I'll put some information in the description below with some links.